Hi everybody, this is Paul at Reliable POD, and this is a video showing you how to create and upload your designs into our app to create a personalized product. So first thing to know, you log into your app and you'll click onto the My Products tab here, and you'll be presented with these options here. Now just to explain for you, if you're going to create a static design that doesn't require any personalization at all, then you want to click on the Print on Demand tab and create a new product from there. If you're going to create a personalized product, then you need to click on this tab and then click New Product here, which in turn will create you give you the options to create a personalized product with all the upload fields. We do have a section here which is the pre-design, which if you click on there, we put lots of pre-designs of products in that you can just add to your web store, but there's a separate video on that. But for the sake of this video, we're going to work on creating a personalized product. And this process is the same for most of our products. If there's anything different, like t-shirts or products that have got direct printing, like some of the plaques, the glass plaques, there's separate videos on their own web pages for those. So first thing we're going to do is click on personalized, click on new product, and we're going to select the product we're going to demo for you, which is the floor mats. So click on the floor mat and you're presented with this screen. So first thing we want to do is upload the image that we've just created. So you click on Start Designing, and here you want to click on Add Your Image Area. Now this image that we're uploading is the background image, and we actually don't want the customer to be able to change the background image or anything. So most of the time when you're creating designs, when you upload your first background image, you'll click this tag here, allow customer to upload their image. You'll turn that off. So then it reduces some of the options that you've got when you're creating the product. Then you want to go upload the static image. So if you click on upload, and the one that we created previously was this one, test. So if we upload that, because we use the template on its own, what that will do, there we go, a little bit slow there. What that will do is it will position it perfectly into the app in exactly the right position. So you've got that in there, everything looks good. So all you simply need to do is click Add Layer. Just a couple of things, if you need to watch the tutorials or email support, you've got a couple of tabs here. And if you want to do any accurate positioning, you've got the advanced positioning tab here, where you can scale and move your uploaded image about. So if you click on Add Layer, the next thing we want to do is we want to create the area where the customer is going to upload their own photo into here. But before you do that, what you want to do is lock this layer here, because what happens is you can very easily catch the back layer and move it. So if you click on lock that layer, it'll keep it in position and that won't be affected. So again, what we're going to do now is we're going to add an image area again. So when we click on add, this again puts a layer above with a box on. And now we're going to leave this on because we do want the customer to upload their own image. So the first thing we want to do is size that to the area we want to cover. So to do that, if you grab these nodes here, simply pull them down, roughly get them to where you want them, which is roughly about there. Then pull that one on at this side. We're just about right there. If you need to zoom in, you can zoom in here. take a closer look, but they don't have to be super accurate there because this is not a transparent layer, so the image won't show anyway. So maybe I'll just pull that on down a smidge there. Now, just a note as well, if we were working with a green background, it will be very difficult to see these green nodes when you're trying to size your image upload. So what you've got here is, if you click on this, you can actually change the color of the nodes so that you can see them easier. So, you know, imagine if you were working with a black background. I mean, that one's dark, you struggle to see them. So you've got lots of options to change the colors on those so you can clearly see where you're moving your design. So once you've done that, then what you want to do then is upload your placeholder image, and this is the image that people will see when they see your product on the website. So for example, you might want to upload an image that literally says upload your own photo here, or whatever sort of style you want for your website. But for us, we're going to upload an image of a dog. So we'll click that. That should upload into there. So now you can see that that image sort of doesn't look right there, but that doesn't matter. What you want to do then is click add that layer so that you add it, and now you've added that layer, you need to move that one under the other layer. So if you move that across to the three dots, just move it underneath, you'll see that that's now appeared underneath the other layer. So once you've moved it below, what you want to do then is you want to position your placeholder image correctly. So if you click to go back into the layer, on where you've got upload placeholder image, you can move your image around, which is your placeholder, without moving the frame that you've selected here. So for instance, we'll move that to the right. So if you click on here on your placeholder, if you can't see it, if you click that, and then underneath it you've got the advanced controls, so you can basically click on this arrow here and you can see it moving. If you press the Alt key, it'll move in greater steps. If you want to zoom in on the image a little, then move it down. Again, press the Alt key for bigger steps. Sort of centralize it, and for this example that's what you'll do. Now as you come down here to these settings, what you want to do is you want to turn on the mandatory, because what you want the customer to do is to be forced to upload their own image. You don't want them by accident to order an image of that particular dog on there, which they'll get if they don't add their own image. So make sure you turn on mandatory. Once you've done that, just click update the layer and you've got that fixed there now. So the next thing we want to do is add the text field in here. So if you click on add text layer, and that will give us a text layer on the top here. So what you first want to do is you want to drag that text layer and size it roughly to where your text wants to go, which is going to roughly be about there, I would say. It's about right. So what you want is the placeholder text to be here. So what I normally put is enter your text here. Oops, and I've left the caps lock on, so I'll just delete that. Enter your text here. So as you can see, that text is too big, so what we're going to do is just come down and we're going to change the default text size to, let's try 16. That's probably still a little bit big, so we'll drop that down again to 14. And look, we'll do 15. And I think we've got that about right there. So that's the default size. You then want to change the maximum font size here to 15. And then what you want to do is you want to change the font here to the font that you actually want to use. So over here you've got different font groups. These are font groups that you can create yourself, and there's a separate video on this, but what you would do is you would click manage here, and you've got lots and lots of fonts, available font groups. You can create your own font groups, and as you can see, all these fonts here can all be added. So you could create a jewellery font group or a mug font group and add your own favourite fonts. So we're going to use, I think it'll be a serif one, and we're going to use Alio, which I think matches the design a little bit. So we've got default font size 15, maximum size is 15, but what you also want to do is you want to put a minimum font size, and let's say we put 12 in there. What that means is if a customer types in letters that are too large to go across, it will actually lower the size of the font automatically in the text field, so you'll not get any font chopped off. Now if we look here back to the placeholder text, and we'll count how many characters there. I think it's 20. It's 22, so maximum characters allowed. If we put 23 with the smaller font size here, that should work. So what you then want to do is click on fixed here for the font. The reason we're fixing the font, and this is a personal choice, is if it's not fixed, when the customer goes on Shopify to enter their own text, they'll be able to select from any of these fonts here. I don't like giving customers too much choice on what they've got because, well, I just don't. It's just my preference. So if you click fixed, the only option they'll be presented with is Alio at a standard 15. The maximum letters is 23, and obviously they'll see enter your text here. Now we can go down to font colors. Again, you can create color groups, etc. And again, there's a separate video on how to do this, but for very basic use, you could either use the color picker, and if you click there, click into the box, either drag or enter your color in there, and then click fixed. You've got a black text, and you'll see the box turns to black there when it's like that. Or if you don't want to use the color picker and you've got a color group, I've got one called black, so I'll just select black, and that's done. The text will be black. Now when you come down here, first button you want to make sure you turn on is mandatory. That means before the customer can order it, they have to basically place their own text in there, so they're not going to order something that says enter your text here. I'm not going to discuss multi-line text here. I'll do a separate video on that, but you can add as many lines as you want. If you were doing a jewellery or a plaque, you can add multiple lines on there. What you do want to do is turn auto text size on, which then means that when the customer types too many characters in or it gets too close to the edge, it'll reduce the size to your minimum font size, which is there. Styling, I turn off. Alignment, transformation, moving, resizable and rotatable. They're all your own preferences. If you want to let the customer align it left or align it center, or no transformation, uppercase, all these options are for yourself, whichever you prefer your customers to have. So once you've done that, we're happy with that, we'll add that layer and we're all done with the product. Next step is mock-ups. Move over to mock-ups. These are all the different mock-ups that are on there. Let's say you're creating a design with no photo, you can just turn that one off and it won't create it. So you can even add your own mock-ups. If you've got your own mock-ups and you want to add them into here, we make it easier for to do that. Just upload them here. And again, we've got some static images. A lot of people do pet mats. If you don't want the pet mat there, just turn that one off when it uploads. These images are created for Amazon, so you can use them as your main images, but I'm going to upload them all anyway. So click on next step. We'll call this 1 test. You can change the text here, which is what appears and gets pushed to your Shopify store. Here we've got tags. So on the tags, you can put pet mat, and that will get pushed through to your store. Once you're done with that, if you then click create, and that will take probably about a minute to create it. So I'll just, it's created it now. So what I'll do with that is when you come to add the product to your store, you have to give it a minute or two to generate all its mock-ups, but you'll come to here, and if you click like that and it won't allow you, it means the mock-ups haven't generated yet. So I'll just pause you while that's done. So that took about 50 seconds to create that, and if we just go in and take a look at that, you can see it's added all the mock-ups at the bottom for you. Also note a few things. Lots of times when I've created designs, you might see that you've made a spelling mistake on the text. You don't have to go through all the process again of creating it. You can literally click on edit design, and then you can say go into that particular text layer, you can change the text, and then what you do is update the layer and just go through the process again to regenerate the mock-ups, and it'll do that for you. If you want to change the title of the product, you don't have to redo the design. You can edit it here, so you can call it, to test or whatever you want, and I'll leave that just to show you. You can add more tags there, then you can update it, and as you see, it'll have updated it here. When you've added all your products into the app here, you can search by tags within here, because when you get a couple of hundred designs in, you want to find them. Other things you can do in here is you can duplicate as well. So let's say you're doing lots of floor mats and you're aiming at different pets. If you click into here, and then you've got the duplicate, so you can actually duplicate the product, so it saves you a lot of work doing what you're doing. So once that's done, what I'll show you now is I'll show you how we push that to the store. So if you click on the 3 dots here, click on add to store, and we're going to push this straight through to a Shopify store. I'll have done a separate video on how to push to an Etsy store, because there's a lot more options doing that. We'll click this one, and we'll just work as well. Like I say, if you don't want to push a particular image through, you just turn them off here and don't push it through. You can set your price in here. You can increase it, decrease it by percent or by dollar. You can manually change it. So if you wanted that to be $25.95, you just add that there. And this is the price that you pay from us for the product, obviously plus shipping. So you got lots of options on pricing. If you just want to reset it back, just click there. Then click add that to store, and that's pushing through to your Shopify store now. So I'll just wait while that gets pushed through, and I'll show you what it looks like in Shopify. So if we come across into our test store now, you can see that this design has come across, and if we click on the product to view it in the store, you get the image and all the mock-ups that come across. And if your customer then wants to personalize it, click on personalize, and then let's say that they want to add the text, and say the dog's name's Sammy. They can take that in. Then if we click onto the image, they can upload an image, dog 3. So there, and once they've uploaded the image, because you can see these controls are on, the customer can resize, they can move it to the left, to the right, they can center it, move it up or move it down. So they've got lots of options on there. Then when they've done that, if we want to preview the design on your website, you just click onto preview. That should generate some mock-ups for them so they can see what it looks like. Here we go. So the customer gets to see the product when it's finished, then they just add it to the cart and they're done. Thank you very much. Cheers. Bye bye.